G'day and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. So jumping straight into Go Battle League. So we're in the opening of Season 2. And I'm going to be doing my next set of 5 battles. So as you can see, I've done 25 battles in total and had 19 wins. So not too bad. I'll jump into Great League. And so my team is very, very meta. Azumarill in up front, and then we've got a Registeel, which both of those are pretty much the most meta you can get, and then a Galvantula, which isn't hugely meta, but is fairly close. So we'll jump in and we'll see how we go. So I've done alright in the last couple. So I had one absolutely horrendous run, lost a set of 5, one win, 4 losses, so let's hope I can do a little bit better than that this time. Let's see how we go with Azumarill lead. So Azumarill's leading into Registeel, so this is not too bad. I'm just going to play this match out, so I won't actually shield the first one up. I'll let this go. I should be able to tank to... oh, it's a Focus Blast. Okay, so it must just be running the one move. So I'm going to Ice Beam here and hope I can get the shield. So that does change things up. Oh, so the fact that they did not shield there means that... yeah, so that's less appealing for me. Really would have liked to get a shield there. Let's hope they don't shield this one, and they haven't, so that's good. And then I've swapped that out into a Beedrill. So I'm going to switch out here into my own Registeel. So this shouldn't be doing huge amounts of damage. Oh, it's a Sludge Bomb, so it's not going to do much. So that's fine. Let's see. And I'm going to throw the... Oh, so I'm not going to shield this up. And we'll see what comes... It's an X-Scissor, so that's going to do no damage either. So at least I now know what both of their charge moves are on this. I should be able to take this out before... Oh, and I've shielded this one up, so that's interesting. So let's see if I can get to the Flash Cannon before they can. I've got to be watching the timer to make sure they can't switch this out, because it's a really... this is not a favourable match at all for them, so they will be switching out, I would imagine, as soon as they can. Yep, there they go. And then a... Okay. So I'm going to save up to a Flash Cannon there on the... So I will shield this one up. I'm up 2 shields, so it's now the time to start using them. So this is... Ooh, Blizzards, that's interesting. So I am going to overcharge once and then tap away and... wait for this charge move to go ahead. So it's going to do neutral damage because of the dragon and water typing. So let's see what they bring out. So they're going to bring out the Beedrill. I'm going to let this go down. The X-Scissors, yeah, enough to take it out, which is fine. So they've got a... Registeel in the back that's got some loaded energy on it. So the question is, do I switch out here? So I'm going to let this go. There's no way that they're going to... It's going to be the Focus Blast, which is fine. But then I've got the Azumarill in the back, so absolutely fine there. So that's game 1. So... Other than the Azumarill, Azumarill with just the Focus Blast is interesting. So it's obviously only had the one move. There's no way you'd use Focus Blast if you had Flash Cannon as well. Just because obviously Flash Cannon, 1, does more damage to Azumarill, but 2 is also cheaper in terms of throwing the move. So guaranteed only one move, and that's fine. If it's a very big investment to get that second charge move on the Registeel. So I'll jump into the second one and we'll see what we get. So not using shields for the Registeel was an interesting one. So yeah, but that's fine. Let's see. So we've got a Toxicroak, which is not ideal. So what I want to do is 1, 2, 3, and then try and swap out on this charge move, but it's not worked at all. So I'm not going to shield this up. Let's see. So it's a Mud Bomb, which is fine. So it does still does a lot of damage. So this is not ideal for me at all. Yeah, so possibly there, what I should have done is stayed in with the, yeah, so definitely should have stayed in with the Azumarill there, and then, yeah, forced the, oof, so this is a tough one to come back from. That was a poor play. Should have shielded up twice with the Azumarill. So I can't come back in with, well, I'm not going to come back in with the, so let's see what they do. If I can get there first, which I can. So this will be interesting. Well, do they want to go 2 shields down? They may do, because they've got the advantage with, yeah, so they're going 2 shields in, which is fine. So I'm going to shield this one up. And so this is a big one for me. So I'm really hoping it wasn't the Mud Bomb. Let's see what they do here. So they've swapped into their own Azumarill, which is interesting. So this is not looking good for me. The Azumarill is, I should have been counting its moves. I wasn't. I'm going to let this go. Oh, and it is the Hydro Pump. That's not good for me at all. That's really not good. I really needed to shield that one up. But, I mean, it is what it is. So, yeah. So, I'll get this next Flash Cannon off. And I'll need to get to a 3rd before I can... yeah. So, this is probably going to be the Ice... Oh, it's play rough. Okay, it's still going to be enough to take me out, which is fine. I'll be able to get some energy on this. Wow. So why is it not going down? So I need to, let's see what comes out. What's it going to be? So that's not good at all for me. So they switched out and then switched straight in. So let's see if we can get to, so they, yeah, so they've got the shift tree in the back there, so they switched to the shift tree. I saw that and I threw my charge move. Luckily I'd overfarmed a lot, and so the question is who can get to, so they're going to be going for 2 charge moves and I'm going for 1. So I shield this up and let's see who gets to, so it's a Leaf Blade, obviously. So can I get to my Ice Beam? No. So we CMP tie, and this is going to be really close. Is this going to take me out, or is it not? Let's see. So it's going to be really close. Oh, and I was in range, and I had my... so that's really frustrating. So had I saved the second Ice Beam there, so good play on their part. Yeah. They definitely outplayed me there. Saw the full health through the move, but they'd swapped straight out, so burnt all that energy. So I really needed to hold that off and then throw the double on the, yeah. Anyway, so this is interesting. So we're both doing super effective damage. Let's see what they do. So it's probably going to be a Magnet Bomb, so I'm not going to shield this first one up. Oh, Thunderbolt, that's really bad for me. So I'm going to go all the way to... So let's see what they do. So I need to get a shield here. I really need a shield here. If I do not get a shield, I'm in a bit of trouble. If I can get the shield, and I can, that's happy days. So that means I can shield up the next one. And I will need to shield this up, and then they can make the decision whether they want to double shield this, or so go win, switch advantage, or yeah, so either have switch advantage or be down a shield. So it's their call on this, so that's good. And bam, so they've chosen to keep a shield, but I've managed to get switch advantage here. So this is an interesting one. So what I think I'm going to do is fast move, farm me down. So this is not ideal for me. So I'm going to bring out the Registeel. Let's see what there. So it is probably going to be Flamethrower. Yeah, so it is the Flamethrower, so that's fine. So what have they switched out to? So it is the Marowak, so that's not ideal for me. Yeah, so no Protect Shield, so I don't actually know what move this is going to have. So it is Bone Club, so that's okay for me. So I think I need to throw my Bug Buzz, and it would be really handy if it threw. Let's see what we've got. So they may shield this up. This will be interesting. So yeah, so they've shielded that up, so that's fine. So we're equal shields here. So if I can get to another Bug Buzz, I'll be in an okay position. Let's see what their second charge move is. So it's Bone Club, so that shouldn't take me out, and it doesn't. Can I get to my Bug Buzz? I can't. So there's twice in this game that I've... So I need to just throw the Focus Blast. So I might actually Well, actually I'm going to go a little bit under so I can farm up some energy. This might be what costs me the game, so it depends on what move they're... Well, depends on what their second move is. So, so this is... I don't want them to get another one. So I'm going to Focus Blast here. And then I will... so they've swapped out. So it'd be interesting to see what... how close they are to a charge move here. So they're not close enough, and managed to fast move farm it down. So that was really nice, and so they probably should have swapped out a little bit earlier, but I mean the countdown clock, I wasn't paying attention to it, might not have been up yet, so that's yeah, good game. So let's jump into the next one. So two real poor plays on my part there, trying to go for the extra... trying to go for the charge move and then not being able to throw either of them. Really lucky to get away with that. So, leading with Azumarill, coming out with the Beedrill, so it's going to do a little bit of damage, which is unfortunate. So I'm going to switch this straight out. So this will be doing a little bit of damage. So I don't know if it's going to have... I'm going to shield. Yeah, so Aerial Ace, he's not going to do a huge amount of damage. Let's see what they do. So they've stayed in, so I'll throw... Discharge. So Aerial Ace is going to do a little bit of damage, but it's not going to be too... Oh, so they've not shielded that up. That's interesting. Let's see what they come out with. So it's a Toxicroak, which is fine. So I need to start putting on some shield pressure here. The Toxicroak is... another good pick. Let's see. So I think what I'm going to do is let this go down if they are going to... Yep, so I have to let this go. And for this one, I'll switch into the Azumarill. And then I'm going to try and get a switch. Just... Oh, wow, that was really quick. I was not expecting it to be so quick, so I'm not going to shield this because I think it could be the Mud Bomb, and it is. Let's see. I'm half expecting them to switch. They've not switched out, so I will just throw the Ice Breath, so that's fine. I expect them to shield, which they do. And I think what I'm going to do is shield myself here, so I'll match the shield. So I'm really hoping this is the sludge wave, sludge bomb, whatever it is, sludge bomb. And I'm hoping they don't have time to throw another one. So I'm just going to swap because I'm not confident that they will. Oh, so that was a poor play on my part. I could have fast moved farm down with the Azumarill, but I didn't. Now they'll be able to throw the mud bomb, and it's going to do a little reasonable amount of damage. Let's see what they do here. So Toxicroak is down. I've got a bit of stored energy, so let's see what they've got. So I'm going to have to flash cannon like an absolute monster here. So let's flash cannon this up, and I'm gonna have to do at least 3 flash cannons to get the win here. So can I get to another flash cannon before they get to? No. Oh, so that's frustrating. So I'm really hoping this is this is going to be the it's Ice Beam, so that's fine. So it'll let me gives me enough time to throw this. I'm gonna... Oh, I can't swap out. I really want to swap. So I think now I'm just going to go for straight up Ice Beam. Ice Beam should be very close to being in range here. So they've got a lot of energy. Let's see. So it's going to be close. Yeah, so that's enough to take it out there. So happy days. So they farmed up a lot of energy, and I imagine they were going for the Hydro on my Azumarill, but Happy Days managed to get the win there. So let's jump into the next one. So at least for this set, we're going to go positive. So let's see who our next opponent is. Freedom Drifter. So that's one of the things I'm really not good at doing, is trying to keep track of who I've played against, so I can remember their lineup if I happen to meet them again. So for this one, what I'm going to do is switch out into... yeah, so this is a questionable play here. Okay, so they're switching out too, so that's fine. I'll switch there. So this is okay for me. Be interesting to see what they have in the back. So I'm just going to straight up discharge and not... If I can get to a second discharge before them, I can't. So I'm going to let this go. Be really good not to, but yeah, I don't have a choice there. So I am actually going to jump in with the Azumarill here. Let's just go. And I don't know why I've frozen. That's really not good. So I'm going to Ice Beam here. So I've got a bit of extra energy, and I will be using a shield when the Venusaur comes back in. So I don't expect them to use a shield here. No, of course they're not going to. So then I will use a shield. They will shield up here, but that's fine. And probably what I want to do is get some energy. So the question is, can my... Yeah, so I'm going to let this go. And then let's hope they haven't got something that's can take my Registeel. So I will be leaving the... So this will be either a Frenzy Plant or... Well, this will be a Frenzy Plant, and it's going to be... Oh, it's a Sludge Bomb. Okay, so that's fine. So they're trying to use less energy. So I might as well... I'm going to throw this... and they're trying to bait out a shield. Do not know what they've got in the back. If they're not switching and they're shielding the Venusaur, they've obviously got something weak. So I'm going to let this one through as well. Let's see what comes out. So the Frenzy Plant, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've gone in there. So I need to take this out. I would like to take this out before it gets to another Frenzy Plant, and yes, it was within range. What have they got in the back? So, this is going to be a close one. I should be counting these bubbles. I think they've done 4 or 5. And now I need to spam. So I will be shielding up everything from the Oh, so this is going to be close. So I think I probably should have shielded up one of the frenzy plant. I should have shielded the second frenzy plant because I think they're going to get me within bubble range before I can get to a third. Yeah, so I definitely should have shielded one of the charge moves from that. So that's interesting. So I think the bubble still will... It probably would have been in a better spot had they not thrown an ice beam there, but I think their bubble will still be able to bubble me down. So still able to bubble me down there. Unfortunate. So definitely 100% should have used one on the Victory Bell on the Venusaur, but that's okay. You never know what is in the back. So... pretty happy with that. 3 and 2, so it's okay. Let's see what the encounter is. Beldum, so not great. So I have got a video on how to improve your excellent throws, so I'll link to that now. Have a watch. It's really useful for particularly raid bosses for these ones, and trash throw, no throw bonus there. Particularly for raid bosses, limited balls is the way to go. You need to be hitting those greats and excellents. So Beldum Court, let's see if it's actually any good. I'm going to guess no. So no good. So transfer that straight out of there. Absolutely fine. So that is, well, the set done. Should error me out and then let me claim the reward. So obviously I'm not going to get a rating, but I'm getting so 1 win away from leveling up, which is nice, and we can give that a go. So I think that team's working reasonably well for me. Having the Galvantula to switch into is okay. So the reason they switched into the Altaria because obviously having the Altaria matched up against the Azumarill was not the right match for them in that last game. So one of the things that you should be doing is counting those fast moves and trying to learn a couple of them. So obviously you're not going to be able to do it for a few, but for Azumarill, for example, it's in so many teams. It's worth knowing that it takes 5 bubbles to get to an Ice Beam, it takes 6 to get to a Play Rough, and then it takes 7 to get to a Hydro Pump. So count those up and then you'll have at least an idea of what they can and can't throw. And then you can use your shields a little bit better. In the middle of play, that is a bit difficult because I'm not doing it, I'm forgetting to do it, and I'm trying to concentrate on other things. The other thing you can do, which is a really, really good thing, is when the opponent is switching out, if you look in the top right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see the typing of what's coming in before you'll actually see what comes in. So if you're ready to switch out, you can have a look up in that top corner and you can make your switches faster. So look in the top right-hand corner for the typing that's coming out, and you'll see that before you can see what the actual Pokemon is. So for example, if they're switching into an Azumarill, you'll see that it's a water fairy type Pokemon coming out, so you can switch out. So obviously it doesn't, if it's something that's just straight up grass, then you're not going to know what it is, but you do know it's a grass type. So if you're running a Azumarill and you see a grass coming out, you can swap straight into the Reggie because it counters the grass type. Unless, of course, they're running Meganium, which then has Earthquake, which causes all sorts of problems. But top right-hand corner, look for those typings so you can make faster switches. So that's something that I've only found out very, very recently, and it's a game changer. So I was very slow on switches, as you probably see in my earlier games. Hopefully now, knowing the little trick there, I'll be able to switch things out much, much faster, which is obviously what you want to do. So a couple of little tips there. Hopefully they were useful, helpful for someone. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.